Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dave, our wonderful producer behind the scene here. So good evening, good morning, good afternoon, lovely, lovely friends. Thank you very much for joining me. This is our show, Zsuzsanna Medium, and I'm your host, Zsuzsanna Hörcsög, and I'm coming to you live from the UK. It is Tuesday, so a perfect time and a perfect space to be here. I'm always here at 3:30 p.m. EST and 8:30 p.m. GMT. So today, what we are going to do, I'm going to take two callers. And interestingly, I wanted to talk to you about something. But you know, in the very, very last minute, the cards came to my hand. So what I'm doing now, I'm going to bring a card for all of us, for a consciousness. So I'm inviting everybody, just feel comfortable in your body, put your feet flat on the floor, and then just very, very comfortably breathe. I'm going to bring one card for all of us. I know there are a lot of things happening in our world right now. And one way or another, we are learning to adapt ourselves. We are learning to be flexible. Situations remind us to be flexible. Situations remind us to be patient, and not necessarily patient with other people, but patient with ourselves. So I feel that is a perfect time to be alive, and a perfect time to be present to all our gifts, all our senses, and really possibly re-evaluate our lives. So yes, I'm very, very excited about that, regardless of what is happening. Big things are happening out in the world, but then it is definitely bringing a lot of things to home, really making us think about our values and making us thinking about our lives and what we are really here for, So my little conversation was about how I adapt myself to situations. So for instance, a few days ago, I did not have my car with me, not because what was happening or what is happening here in the UK, but my car just had to be taken somewhere to be fixed. So I did not have my car, and I was actually panicking for a little while because I thought how I would be able to get to different places. But when something like this happens, we create plan A, plan B, or maybe plan C, and then we just really threw ourselves into the situations that see, how we are going to manage ourselves. And then, to be honest, I've actually found how much I'm enjoying walking. Of course, I enjoy walking, but when we are really stick with an idea that I need a car to get to somewhere, we really forget about other opportunities. So situations remind us that we are able to adapt ourselves. The situations and people remind us that we can be flexible. And that is my invitation to you for the week ahead. Where can you be flexible? Where can you practice being patient with yourself? And then it's always, I always talk about how you meditate or how you breathe and how you relax into your body. And when we are finding that quiet place within ourselves, then there is a point where we can all find that place of calmness or peacefulness, and bringing up different ideas so that we are able to adapt to different situations. So here we go. The card in my hand is coming out, and I see there is somebody here for a reading. Let's see where we are going to get to. Okay, so the card for all of us. And I'm using the John Holland Psychic Tarot cards. Here we go. These are the cards I quite like using, and it just wanted to come to my hand. Okay, so here we go. A card for us. Now, listen, if those of you who wanted to have a reading tonight and then you could not get through or you miss your opportunity, make sure that you come to my Facebook page after this conversation, after this show, where I'm going to do live readings. Okay, so it's always Zsuzsanna Medium, and my website is zsuzannamedium.com if anybody wants to check out what is there. So here we go, live readings after the show on my Facebook page. Okay, so the card for all of us. I need to go for the very, very top card. It's usually, well, quite often it comes to my hand. Now, what I feel with this one card, and then please understand, this is a message for all of us. And it's interesting because when I read the cards, I tend to just hold the energy. I just, feel the energy. And then I turn the card, into, what is really saying, in that sense. But then on this occasion, this card is saying that actually maybe I want to see what is, maybe I don't want to see what is on the other side, I want to see what is not written. I want to see what is left on the other side, because we tend to look at our word from one point, one angle, and we are really creating our reality because of how we are looking at the word, our point of view, our upbringing, our various trainings or points of view, various things. But then what consciousness is saying, that consider that everything has another side, So if you feel that you are stuck in one area of your life and then things are not moving forward and you can't make things work, what is the other side to that? What is that situation really reminding you of? What is that situation really teaching you? I'm not saying reminding you of, because your soul remembers, okay? But then the situation is teaching you something. So it's quite interesting, because I'm going to show you what the card is showing us, but in this situation, we need to acknowledge what is not shown, what appears to be unknown, what appears to be forgotten. Okay, so that is what we are being reminded of right now. Okay, so just this side of the card, but since it is in my mind, in my hand, mental conflict. Yes, if it is causing mental conflict or dissonance within our thoughts and our emotions and in our energies, maybe. Okay, so what is the other opportunity? What is the other view? What is the other sense? What I can tune myself into? So I'm inviting you to be patient, to be playful, to be curious, and then let's see what the week is going to bring forward for you. When you are creating this flexible, adaptable approach for yourself. Okay, so here we go. Let's go for our callers here. So today, first caller, we've got Jerian, if I said your name, Jerian from Alberta, Canada. So Jerian, can you hear me, please?
Yes, I can.
Oh, lovely, lovely. Thank you very much for being here. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. So how can I help you today? Jerian.
Actually, I'm having some struggles with my oldest teenage daughter. She struggles with mental health. And some days I worry that today might be the day that I have to start planning her funeral.
Oh, bless you. So, when I'm sure that you have already looked into who are those people who can help, in your environment objectively, within the situation. But to be honest, while I was listening to you, my attention was drawn to a door, the room where I'm sitting. If you can see me, well, you can't see the door, but then across to me, there is a door. And while I was listening to you and your daughter's situation, it feels that, yes, I'm opening the door, and that is her energy. I want to open the door, but the intention is there. I want to open the door. I want to get out of the situation of that world where I am, but I am just not entirely sure whether it is safe for me or how I could be doing it. Would you understand that sometimes there are days when she goes this way, and then other days, or she feels this way, and the other days slightly different, like different, as if you have a daughter of different energies. One day it goes like this, the other day it goes differently. Do you understand that, please?
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. And you see, what I'm feeling for her energy, it's interesting because I need to be with the door. What I feel for her energy is that within herself, within her heart, she wants to come out of the space where she is. It is just not really knowing how I need to do that. What I feel is that every all of us, and then the situation can be quite painful in that sense when we talk about relatives or friends. That when we in our life, when we get to a point where we don't know how we are going to get out of it, or what the situation is, or how who can help. On the soul level, we choose that reality. I feel that you mentioned that you are really worried about your daughter, but what I feel for your daughter is that taking time and taking every day as one step, that is helping her. What I feel is that there can be days when, or times when she takes 3 steps up, so
Yeah.
she comes out of that space, and then something happens, something triggers, something which you might not, or other people might not even notice, but something is there, and then she's gliding back to the place. What I'm sensing for her is certain sights, light, and certain sounds, or the combination of these, that is somehow, so on that level, that combination of sound reminds her of something which she wants to avoid. She doesn't really know how to avoid the situation. So my suggestion is, because you are the one who sees, you are the one who hears. So your position is to be her eyes, her hearing, her ears, so that what she might feel really uncomfortable, a sense, using your senses. So just very gently tuning into energy. And then it's not that your position is, I do not need to say anything, I do not need to say anything. I do not need to guide, but I just need to be in the space with her, So what Spirit says that just be with her in the space, because being in that space with you sensing her energy and being with her in her own space is the healing energy. Now, you see, you want to help your daughter do the healing on yourself as well. And then in this way, you raise your frequency. So when you are together with your daughter, without saying anything or without doing anything, then her frequency, this is how you can have with her frequency as well, So you work on yourself, so that it means that you are able to help your daughter as well, I feel that, she's going to come through and come out of the space where she is. That the invitation is, for you is, mentioned that sometimes you think that you need to plan for a certain occasion, I can't really look into medical conversations because I know that you have already looked into that. But then let's just pause with that thought. We are here to alive, and you have that daughter because you are the one who is able to help her. And then in that sense that the way you helping her, she is reminding you of something within you. I feel that she gives a lot of strength to you, and then in that way that as you are moving forward, I need to go back to the last 2-3 years, where the situation was, yes, how we go, how we do things together, it's like dancing. What step do I take? And the other person is taking another step, so it's like some misunderstanding in the conversation and the communication, But then I feel that the way you move forward, you are helping each other, because the focus is on her, but then with her energy, she's helping you and then the rest of the family to shift your energies, and then in that sense, moving forward, being able to move forward, I feel that, she's going to come through that time. But at the same time, just make sure that you talk to those people who are able to look after her and give sound advice, But then I feel that you can do quite a lot by yourself, working on yourself and with your own energy, so that is helping her as well, so this is what I can say.
Okay. Yeah, I know one of the things that she struggles with is spirits that have passed have started coming and talking to her to give her messages. She feels like she's going crazy in her own head because she doesn't know what are her own thoughts and what are the thoughts and the messages from spirit, or what she's supposed to be doing with these messages.
Okay. But you see, it's that is a place where it's a very, very delicate place, But I'm quite what is the word? How should I say it? I'm quite pleased for her that she's communicating it. Now I feel that there is that fine line how you can help her. So immediately what comes to mind, when she says something that she's aware of certain energies, is it something that the rest of the family understands? If she says that there is a spirit communicator, if she's channeling, or she has somebody, are you able to verify? Are you able to say that yes, we understand the description or the message what she's saying? So you can tune into that energy as well. What I am saying is that because I feel that your daughter is quite creative, So for instance, writing, writing or drawing, creating it in a form of what we would say like art, So I'm drawing it, or I'm continuing talking about it, in that sense. But I feel that the spirit communicators can come to us when we are in great need. So sometimes when people are in a space of a certain depression, or in great joy, and that is the frequency where we could have the different frequencies coming to us as well. Also, I would say that do a clearing around your home, so it's objectively, we can either do the decluttering or clearing the space, so using sage or using sound or just going around and
collecting. So like a Tibet singing bowl?
Yes.
And just go through, what do I do? Just go through the whole house on all the corners and everything and all around. Do I say anything as I'm doing it, or I just do it and the energy is going to move itself?
Yes, you see, if you feel, because right now, yes, I mean, your daughter can be talking about all, what I feel that right now, the energy can go this way or that way, to be honest. This is what I feel, So my first point would be, check what, when she says that she's hearing certain voices or certain conversations, if there is somebody who can verify the information, what she gives, if you can look it up. So,
yeah, it's very medium here. This has been going on about 6 months. But you see, what happens is she goes within and she does the work that she needs to, where she can block them all off and stuff. I mean, and she's only 17 years old, right? And then she gets days where I just want to be normal, and she shuts it all down to the point where she's screaming her head off at all of these spirits to get the F out of her house and leave her alone. And it's when she starts to do that and doesn't accept her gift, because she's gifted. She's got a divine gift, and when she tries to shut that down, that's when it gets too much for her head.
Yes, you see, if she, when you say that she shuts down, when we close the energies, it means that we are back to our normal life. So we should not be having conversations, so that when she's in a brighter place, you can talk to her whether how she feels about that, or whether she really understands why she has this ability, because what happens is that, you started with, describing her energy. She could be in a space that right now she needs to sort herself out in her physical reality before moving on and then exploring or working with her own abilities here, because
when
otherwise,
she's a little older.
Yes. Because
Okay.
otherwise it would be quite overpowering, because then when one is in a place of depression or feeling really, in that space, then we need to sort ourselves out first. Spiritual energies, the high, I always say highest of the highest, the working with light. It means that ourselves, as humans, we need to be in a good place, physically, mentally, emotionally. Otherwise, it is going a little bit pear-shaped, So sometimes it happens that, spiritual energies, they show themselves that, yes, you have an ability, and then this is what it takes, because you need to be able to hold the energy, you need to be able to hold the frequency. So my suggestion is first check whether, how she's saying things, what you can verify. And then after that, having maybe a conversation with her, how she feels about her abilities, and she might say, I don't want anything. I don't want to do anything with them. Then you can make that decision, with her, helping her, that actually, we really need to work on closing those energies, because right now you need to put yourself together, you need to look after your health. We need to put things in place so that she feels really together, and later, if she chooses, then it can work for her very easily, because if she's sensing things, it means that she already has the ability. It is just a time in her life, in the timing. I feel that I go back to the beginning of the conversation, that you are there to help her. Also, saying to her, there's nothing to worry about, nothing to be scared about, definitely clearing the space, clearing your energy, clearing the space energetically, and objectively, and her energy as well, so that when she has any vision or any message she receives, that always is coming from the light, so it's high vibration, and then also, if you are working, with healing energies, then I always say, ask for the highest of the highest, asking for the highest of the highest for the healing energies, and then you might find that she's drawn to certain crystals, or certain anything what she can work with her own senses, something which is
and she does, and she has a good collection, and on those days where she's not accepting of all of this, when she really needs that, and of course I'll go and try to put something in her hand. Well, then I'm just 17-year-old mom, and so I mean, she does have all of that. Now, can I do distant energy healing on her and around my house?
You can. You see. Just two things. When you said
I'm just coming into my own powers too, and realizing that I'm a healer.
Yes.
But I just don't know.
Yes, I tell you what. I'm really, really happy for you, even if it's one of those situations, that you find yourself, in that situation. But I'm really happy for you, because then you see, it goes back to the beginning of the conversation, how you are the mother of your daughter, and then the daughter is helping you. So within that relationship, both of you will find what you need to do, and then how you need to work on yourself, and not just for yourself, but for the other one. When you mentioned that she doesn't accept the crystal, that's absolutely fine. Just being with her in the space, if she accepts that is healing, and then in that sense that if she say that I don't want that, you can be still in the light, you can still work on yourself, because if both of you are in the same room and then she feels under the weather, or she feels, oh, I don't want to talk, or I don't want you to be there or anything, but then if she accepts your presence while you are there, you can quietly meditate, you can quietly do something, you know, and then in that sense, you focus on yourself, that you raise your frequency, because just like, you know, frequency. If I raise my frequency, it means the person next to me will benefit from it, whether they want it or not, you know, because it is available for them. And then in the time when your daughter feels a little bit blue, or a little bit, you know, a little bit lower in energy, then there could be still, or there are still points where she accepts your energy, you know. So that is what I can say, you know, using, you know, distant healing, use the energy to tune your house, to tune your room, you know, using,
Okay.
If she says, I don't want the healing, I don't want the crystal, then we need to be respecting the space, because yes, we can send the energy, we can be there for the other person. Sometimes it can be too much. So I would be a little bit careful in that way. You know how we would say that if the person is not asking, and I'm not doing it, but I can still be the energy, you know, and then I can still tune my house so that and everybody who is there experiences and benefits from that frequency, and that will include your daughter as well, you know. It's absolutely beautiful. I know it can be something, or it is quite a challenging time and situation for you, but then because you are working on yourself and your daughter has that ability, I'm absolutely certain that you will find the way, you know, like interweaving the energies, you know. So this is what I can say. Thank you. I tell you what, we have come to the end of the show. Feel free to send me an email and let me know how you're getting on, or if you could need any other advice. You know, my email address is hello@zsuzannamedium.com. So thank you very much for joining in. Apologies for the second caller. I will get to you another time, or come to my Facebook page for live readings. And my lovely friends, thank you very much for being here. This is our show, Zsuzsanna Medium, Zsuzsanna Hörcsög from the UK. I'm always here on Tuesdays at 3:30 p.m. EST, 8:30 p.m. GMT.